The man lived in the blind spots of a wealthy man's vision, hiding in plain sight inside his home. Not only did he share meals with the rich man's wife, but he also shared the wife herself. The wealthy man often sensed someone behind him, yet whenever he turned around, there was no one there. This wasn't magic, it was a skill the man had perfected in prison. Inside his cell, he practiced moving undetected, learning how to stay in a person's blind spot at all times. One day, a prison guard searched his cell. Looking through the window, the guard saw an empty room. He stepped inside, only to look up and find the man clinging to the ceiling like a spider. Furious, the guard beat him with a baton and warned him that next time, he wouldn't hold back. This failure only pushed the man to refine his technique even further. He started training every day, imagining an invisible person standing in front of him. Since human vision is limited to 180 degrees, he realized that if he could always stay outside that range, he could become completely invisible in plain sight. With relentless training, he soon learned to move without making a sound. During another cell inspection, the man left his clothes on the floor as a distraction. As the guard approached, he silently circled behind him, matching his movements. Suddenly, the guard spun around, but the man had already shifted behind him again, faster than his eyes could track. However, the guard spotted his shadow. Realizing he had been tricked, he swung his baton violently, knocking the man to the ground. This mistake taught the man another lesson: he had to control his shadow. Determined to perfect his skill, he started a new type of training. He drew an eye on his palm, using his hand to simulate the guard's head. Now, he didn't just practice his movements, he also learned to predict his opponent's steps and avoid reflections or other giveaways. Through constant practice and failure, he mastered complete invisibility. Eventually, he could toy with the guard inside the cell, staying in his blind spot no matter where he moved. The guard grew frustrated, swinging his baton wildly, but every strike missed. The man continued to tease him, until the enraged guard stumbled and was sent flying out of the cell. By the time his sentence ended, he had become a ghost. Upon release, his first mission was revenge. He smashed a golf ball at one of his old enemies, knocking him to the ground, yet the victim never saw who attacked him. Then, he returned to the wealthy man's home. This time, he didn't harm the husband. Instead, he stayed behind him at all times, unseen, while continuing his affair with the wife. For the first time in years, the woman smiled again. And just like that, the man became the true master of the mansion.